Thursday at the Charles Schwab, Scottie Scheffler making his second stroke since being awarded the Wanamaker, and it finds the bottom. An eagle to start for the world #1, off and running. And then with a birdie bid here from length at 11, Scheffler a 2 under 68 to start off his week here at Colonial in his backyard. An eagle, 2 birds, and 2 bogeys to give a couple back. Scheffler position 5 back of the lead, currently belonging to John Pak, a 7 under 63 for Pak, but you know how he did it a week ago. In the face of the world's best, positioned nicely here through 18, Scheffler lurking. CBS golf analyst Shane Bacon. Shane, it feels like we've entered the Paramount Classics page. Just because we know how the movie ends doesn't mean we're not going to watch it. Scottie opens up with the 2 under 68. 4 days removed from the Wanamaker. Lazy bogey and a little loose coming home, but positioned nicely what might feel inevitable at this point. What'd you observe in the first 18 holes?
Yeah, you know, he just kind of has these moments, you know, these 2, 3, 4 hole runs. It feels like every day that he plays professional golf where he separates himself from everybody else. It just so happened it came right out of the gate, right? He makes eagle at the first, he makes birdie at the second. You're like, this dude's 3 under. Is he going to shoot 55 out of the gate after winning the PGA Championship? And Joe, when I look at Scottie, and you and I have talked a lot about Scottie over the last couple of years, but I look at this guy, it's not just confidence, it's starting tournaments the right way. He hasn't shot an opening round over par since the U.S. Open last year. He hasn't shot an opening round in the 70s since March 6th. I mean, this guy gets off to solid starts, just like Tiger. I mean, the comps are there, but if you remember Tiger, you know, famously in major championships, it was never 64 or 65 on Thursdays. It was 1 or 2 under. You know, set a pace, go out there, do your job, and then you kind of can make a move on Friday, potentially Saturday. And for Scottie, I mean, you see it again, right? He shoots 2 under par. It's a nice start on a tough golf course, and he's in a position where if he fires a 31 or 32 over the course of 9 holes the next couple days, he's probably going to be leading the golf tournament.
Matches blocky with that 2 under to open. We just had to slide that. You never know when it's going to be our last chance, Shane. We had to do it. I'm glad you talked about the pace. I'm glad you talked pace because we've gamed this out offline a bit, but when a guy's carrying expectation as large as the one that currently follows Scottie, how does he keep from getting out in front of himself when you see a 63 posted in the morning, not chasing that AM number? We saw it Thursday at Quail in the face of the world's best, and now patient again in round 1. What does that require of someone of his skill set?
You know, I think, you know, guys like you and me play golf and we think about our score after 5 holes or 9 holes or even on the first tee, right? I truly think Scottie's one of those professional golfers, the rare pro golfer that never gets ahead of himself in terms of what I need to shoot, what I need to post. He might do it on Sunday when he's chasing, you know, I got to make 3 birdies over the last 4 holes, but he seems like a very content golfer hole by hole, which is, again, very unique, right? We always think about, oh, somebody shot 7 under, I got to go out there and get it. That's just not who he is. It's not what he's about. It's not what makes him so great. He is, every moment is the moment, every hole is the hole, every tournament is the tournament, and then I move on and think about the next week, the next hole, the next round, and so on. And, you know, I think Scottie gets compared to a lot of players. I think, and you see his name on this list, Dustin Johnson in his prime was so good at that in very different ways, right? The way DJ approached golf versus the way Scottie approached golf. But I think the comps to prime Dustin Johnson, when you think about Scottie Scheffler, are probably a little bit more, let's say, level than maybe when you compare him to a Tiger or Jack, simply because of his ability to really never get 2 up and 2 down and to just go about the week as it is. It's a week, it's a tournament. I'm trying to beat whoever I'm trying to beat, but I'm simply just trying to play a good round of golf.
Moments become years, years become eras, and we'll see where we stand when it's all said and done. We are in the thick of it right now with Scottie Scheffler, and certainly we'll have plenty more to say about him, over the remainder of this week. We do need to address our leader here because we don't know, again, how many opportunities you have. The New Jersey native here in John Pak, crediting his beloved Knicks, their Game 1 loss for the fire that he took onto the course. I mean, it's too good to make it up, Shane. Pak clipped a win last year on the KFT. For the uninitiated, what if his game should lead us to believe he can follow it up on Friday?
I mean, he's a really powerful player, really good college player, had an excellent season last year on the Korn Ferry Tour. You mentioned the win, finished 9th on the Korn Ferry Tour points list. And, you know, I cover the Korn Ferry Tour when we're on TV. and James Nitties and I every single week. You know, you're like, who's the best player out here right now? And Pac's name inevitably would come up in those top 3 or 4. He's a young player who is kind of figuring out the PGA Tour lifestyle. Hadn't had a great season, but I'm not surprised to see him pop on a golf course like this. He can lean on the irons, as I mentioned, plenty long with the driver, and he had a hot putter today, and all of a sudden you add that up. Plus, it doesn't hurt to hole out your first shot of the tournament. I think that's a nice way to start things off from 147. But Pac's one of those players, like, he's going to win on the PGA Tour. He's going to win probably multiple times on the PGA Tour. And when you talk to his peers, they're going to say much of the same.
You see it right there. Pac 63, a career best on the PGA Tour, and matching his career low round on the Korn Ferry Tour. So a day to remember here for Pac. We will try and follow it up in round 2 on Friday. Let's earmark a couple of others, Shane, as you sort of project the rest of the week, what might develop out at Colonial as well. Your biggest mover in round 2, who's a name we should keep an eye on?
Yeah, I mean, I like Tommy Fleetwood simply because of the way he drove the golf ball in the opening round. He hit 6 fairways in round 1. Tommy's a guy that hits a lot of fairways, 35th on the PGA Tour this season in terms of fairways hit. I look at Tommy Fleetwood as a player that I think has a real opportunity to make a push on this golf course. You know, when you think about Tommy, I think about courses like this. I think about River Highlands. I think about places where he can ball strike his way around golf courses. And considering the size of these greens at Colonial, I think it kind of eliminates having to be an excellent putter, which I know Tommy has struggled with in 2025. I look at Tommy and I just see a guy tomorrow hitting 9 fairways, hitting 10 fairways, and shooting maybe sub 67 in round 2.
Colonial, Cromwell, wherever it may be, win number 1 still waiting on Tommy Fleetwood. Does represent the second best betting odds through 18 holes, alongside a number of others behind, of course, Scottie Scheffler. When we talk about winners, Scottie Scheffler is obviously going to own much of the oxygen in that conversation. We might have to set new parameters like winner without. We'll do here and not just in the wagering markets. Give me your winner through 18 holes here. You can say Scottie Scheffler, but disappointment will be abound.
I'm not going to say Scottie, even though I do think there's a really good chance he's going to have 4 wins going into the U.S. Open. Andrew Novak is who I think will win this golf tournament. Really, in the last 6 weeks, dude, he has had 1 bad round, and that is that second round of the PGA Championship. Outside of that, he's been one of the best players in the world. And I think for Andrew Novak, he's truly starting to believe, I can make this Ryder Cup team. I can qualify for this Ryder Cup team. I'm not even going to need to get picked, considering the way a lot of these top-named Americans are playing. So I look at Novak, and I just think continuing that momentum, throw out the bad round on Friday at Quail Hollow, and continuing to hit shots and roll putts like this. And I think Novak has a real good opportunity to pick up another win this season, obviously in a little bit of a different format.
4 top 3s and the team win at the Zurich, because we must remember we are always better amongst friends. Shane Bacon, appreciate you, pal. Don't forget, this weekend, it's all coming to a head on Saturday and Sunday, beginning 3 Eastern time on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. Scottie a part of the conversation? Almost certainly. Join us at the Charles Schwab.